Hello, good evening. I'm back. My name is Lulú Segura, Lourdes Segura, same thing. But I noticed that there are a lot of Kindle Unlimited videos, but there are not a lot of Kobo Plus videos, which is perfectly fine. I know that it's not as common as Kindle. However, I feel like every single time I go and look for a place to look for Kobo Unlimited, I just put them together. Every single time I look for a place for Kobo Plus recommendations, I never find it. This couple, hopefully maybe a week, but it'll probably be a couple weeks, I want to read a couple of Kobo Plus books to see if it's good or not. I had done a video like this before where I was in Spain and I read 3 books that were on Kobo Plus. I liked one of them. The other one, I was like, what in the world is this? And then the third one, I did not really like that much. So I thought I would kind of do the same thing again, but with 3 different books. I'm a university student, so my workload might be different week to week, depending on how much time I have to read. So we'll see how long this takes me to read these 3 books. But first book I'm currently reading is called The Guests by Charlotte Stevenson. And I think this is a British, they do say silly words, but it's essentially supposed to be a thriller or suspense novel that about, I don't know, I don't really know yet. I just know it's supposed to be thriller suspense, but so far this mother and her daughter, and the mother's really grieving the fact that, I don't remember if her husband died or if her husband left her, and her daughter, so she's really grieving that. But she sees people in her house that haunt her, and I think that they're haunting her, but I don't really know. And then I have a couple other books I picked out, but we'll get to those when I get to those. Right now, I'm currently 7% through this book. I have 6 hours to go. It's a psychological thriller. Nail-biting, if you will. I don't know, it seems like a short book, which is why I wanted to pick it up in the first place, but we'll see how long it actually takes me to finish it. And I'll let you know how it goes. So I'm gonna shower, change, get in bed, and read. So let's go do that. I'm currently about 32% through The Guests. I have 4 more hours to go, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm kind of enjoying it actually. So essentially what's going on is that the main character's name is Damsine or something like that. Damsine is the mother of a daughter whose name is Summer, and she has this really big secret, and she's finally revealing it to everybody. Or not revealing it, but being open with her psychiatrist and with her, not with her daughter, but with others around her, kind of. She doesn't want anybody to know that she sees some people in her house, and they always appear at the same time in the same places doing the same thing. It's why her husband left her, it's why she has this strained relationship with her daughter, and it's dual point of view, so you see it from the mother's point of view and from the daughter's point of view. And so far it's interesting. I have a feeling that the psychiatrist is gonna be deep down inside evil, but I can't make assumptions like that. But I'm not gonna lie, so far I'm actually enjoying it. I think it's interesting. It's a different read. I don't think I've ever read anything like this before, so yeah. Right now she's trying to build more connections with her family and with her daughter, because she had this big freak out session where she thought that the girl in the bathroom, that her daughter was the girl in the bathroom and she screamed at her. Okay, super quick note. I suddenly cut the clip here, and so I have like a complete different clip in the next one. So I just wanted to like make a super quick transition because that was on me. But I keep talking about the same book, so. Today is currently Sunday. That's so embarrassing. You're looking at me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. I can see you looking at me.
That's because you're squinting at me.
Whatever. It's been like a week and I haven't really read that much. But I'm 36% through the weight of the guests and I still have 4 more hours to go, which I feel like at the beginning of this video, I was still around this percentage, if that makes sense. Like I still had 4 more hours to go. And I definitely haven't been reading this for 4 hours. But you know what? That's fine. I think I'm going to try reading a little bit today and tonight, later tonight, if I have time. But we'll see. It looks like this upcoming week will be a little bit more difficult. I have 2 exams and a performance Friday night. So I kind of like booked in terms of like academic things to do, if that makes sense. So I just have like a lot of things to do this week. The book is actually not that bad. I'm really enjoying it. It's so far described, it's like from 2 points of views, the moms and the daughters, and it kind of goes back and forth in time from time to time, and it essentially follows like this mother that is having visions of people in her house at specific times of the day, and how she's kind of like suffering the fact that her husband left her for this, and she's isolated from her family, and she wants to provide the best for her daughter, but sometimes she, like, no matter how hard she tries, she feels like she can't do that. And so it's, I don't know, I feel like it's interesting, and it's a different than what I usually would read, but yeah. And then the daughter's point of view is just kind of like the daughter is going through. I think she's queer. She likes, I think she might be bi, but I think so far she has only liked girls, so she might just be a lesbian. But just like how the daughter is managing, I don't want to say these romantic relationships because it's not really about that. It's mostly just about like the relationship with the mother, and like she comes home, her mom is drunk, how she doesn't like that, and how the mom is trying to hide it, but like, you know, the daughter just knows because, you know, you just know. Or one night she feels really sick after eating dinner with her mom, and she starts throwing up, and the mom walks in on her throwing up, and she freaks out. She has like this huge panic attack, and from that point on, and that's where I am right now, she's like, I want to be a better mother. I want to make sure that, like, I didn't realize that you were noticing how much I'm struggling. Like, I'm gonna be better for you because I don't want you to feel like I'm not good enough for you or something like that. Like, I'm not providing enough for you. So that's where I'm at right now. I think it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. I've just been kind of slow reading this week. Not much. Also, I got a new sticker. I just put it on the back of my kobo. It says Boiler Up, Health and Human Sciences, because I go to Purdue. So, my 3 hearts, and then the Boiler Up, Boiler Up, Boiler Up, Health and Human Sciences. So isn't that fun? But yeah, I was hoping to read like at least like another book or 2, but I feel like since I'm reading so slow, that might not happen. I might look for like a short book or novel that I can, that's on Kobo Plus, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. But yeah, that's the tea. So it's currently Tuesday, the worst day of the week ever. I'm officially over halfway through the guests. She is making a lot of progress with her psychologist with her problems, and she's talking it out with her family, and I think that the situation is getting better, but I'm only halfway there, so I don't really know what's gonna happen next. And it does say psychological thriller, so I don't know if like her guests are going to like somehow magically reappear and then things like a lot worse or what. But that is the tea right now, like the guests. I think I'm gonna go to sleep soon, and well, not sleep, but like sit down and read for a while. I've been studying for this voice disorders exam all day today and yesterday, and I'm really stressed about it. Like I don't know, I'm really nervous about this exam, and I'm scared that it's gonna like turn out bad. I think just a little bit more studying will help me get through it. I mean, I still have most of tomorrow to study, but tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, so I also have a meeting tomorrow morning, but I didn't realize that the meeting was online, so I was like planning to go to campus, which should have been kind of awkward, but whatever. Oh, I also found something really interesting, which is called the Clamor. I think it's like a newspaper thing that is going around in my university. This is new too, because I had never seen it before, but I believe this is the second publication, and it looks like it's just like a bunch of essays at the moment, and it's just like really short. So this one, a note for this issue, Black History Month and making sense of recent happenings, an essay by, so it's just a little essay. And it's got a bonus note from the editor. Greetings to your reader. I would like to first and foremost share my utmost thanks and gratitude, blah, 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 for the support we received following the release of our first issue last month. I'm really excited to read it and hopefully see more about it. It looks like a really interesting read. And the several essays that I can read from this. And you can tell it's like a small organization, but they have quite a few supporters, so yeah, I'm excited to read it. Anyway, that's the small update that I have. I'm hoping to read a little more of my book, but I don't know. I've also picked out the next book I will read for this video, and it's gonna be a lot shorter because I'm kind of on edge with how long I'm taking to read this book, because, you know, I've been kind of busy with school, with classes, with other readings I need to do, studying for exams, especially since it's almost like we're practically halfway through the semester. So like midterms and a bunch of exams are coming up. But I've picked out Carmilla, which I've seen, I forgot her name, but she talks a lot about it. It's like a really short, should be about an hour. It says 1 to 2 pages. 1 to 2 hours. So I'm pretty excited to read it. Yeah, I can read it with the Kobo Plus subscription, so should be good. I already have it downloaded. I also have Frankenstein downloaded, but I don't think I'll be reading that for this video. I might just only read those 2 books. I might pick up another one as long as it's short, but we'll see what happens. But that is the update at the moment. Not that there's much, but yeah.
nature documentaries, and then like a big like scary predator comes on the screen and their like pet freaks out, like runs away.
Jack likes to watch like bird watching live streams.
Hello, happy Sunday. It's literally Sunday. This week has been kind of long, kind of rough. I spent most of my time studying for one exam, and then once that hit, I studied for the next exam. So it was kind of like all over the place. But I did end up finishing the guests, and I think I'm gonna give it just 3 stars. I was thinking maybe 3.5, but I'm thinking just 3 because the guest is just like, not that I was expecting for what to happen, but it was like, it felt kind of underwhelming. Maybe psychological thriller just isn't my thing. It was the first psychological thriller I have ever read, so it was just, I don't know, not my favorite, if I'm being completely honest. And the ending was kind of underwhelming for me, and I like kind of saw it coming. I had like 2 options for who she could have possibly been thinking of, but it was like by the end of it I was like, yeah, like I can kind of see where this is going. The epilogue though was also kind of like, I felt like it was kind of out of the blue. It was like why did, like, I don't know, it really just wasn't all that of my favorite, essentially. And so I would just give it like a 3 stars. It was like okay, but it wasn't terrible. Like it did keep me hooked. Like I was really interested in it, and I sat down and I read it for a while. So it's like I could not find it interesting, because I did, like, deep down inside it was pretty interesting. But deeper down inside it was just like mid. You know, it's okay. Now I'm reading Carmilla by J. Sheridan Le Fanu, and if you're super into vampires, you've probably already heard of this classic. It essentially is based off what I've been able to gather. It's like one of the first vampire stories out there. It's like a lesbian romance from like the 1800s, I think. Carmilla is an early tale of vampirism, and it has lesbian elements as well, making it of interest to many scholars and readers today. Le Fanu's best-known works are, of course, Carmilla plus Uncle Silas and The House by the Churchyard. So it's from the Victorian era, and well, yeah, like I think it'll be interesting. I thought that it would only be like an hour or 2 to read, but every single time I turn it off, like the marking changes, and like now it just changed back to 2 hours. But earlier it was at 3, so I honestly don't really know how long it'll take me to finish that. But I think once I finish Carmilla and give it like my review, I'll probably end the video, because I feel like 2 weeks has been a while. It's just like the middle of the semester, I'm starting to get burnt out just a little bit, and I'm ready for spring break. We have 1 more week and then we are done. Yeah, I'm excited to read Carmilla because I've heard a lot about it, especially because I actually do personally enjoy Dracula. I've read it a couple times, and so I'm kind of like interested to see more of like the origins of vampirism. And then I saw Nosferatu last winter break with my best friend and my brother, and that was scarring. That was the worst thing I have ever seen. But maybe I'll watch the 1920s silent film, because that also seems pretty interesting, just to learn more about it, because I mean, vampires are interesting. Like, how could you not be interested in them? It's like such a random thing, but I feel like every culture kind of has their own equivalent of a vampire or a blood-sucking like demon or something, right? Yeah, I'm excited to read Carmilla and see where it takes me. I have seen people rave about it, especially this one girl, I forgot her name, but she talks about it all the time, how it's such a short read, you can read it in like 1 sitting, which I believe her, but like I haven't done that. Yeah, and I'm glad that it's included in Kobo Plus, so it's like a classic in Kobo Plus. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. That's okay. Should I get you in it? What are you currently reading?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm reading Dune.
What are your...
Book. It's pretty good.
Yeah? You're on the 6th book?
Yeah.
How many books are in that series?
6.
6 books? You're on the last book.
That's right.
What would you give the series as a whole?
Let's say 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Oh yeah.
8 out of 10. What could make it a 10 out of 10?
I'd like to see a little bit more like action. I feel like a lot of it's development, or you know, like they have a lot of big ideas, but I feel like it could be a little bit more fast-paced.
More fast-paced. Little more action.
That's right.
Interesting. Good evening. It's like, I don't know, probably like 7. It's not that late, but it's not that early. But I wanted to talk about Carmilla. I'm a little over halfway. Oh my goodness, you can see me recording. That's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, so I'm a little over halfway through reading Carmilla. I'm 60% through, and I just gotta say, it's kind of like a fever dream. Like, it's just, pretty interesting. It's like kind of different, but at the same time it's like it feels like it's from that era. Like the writing, I don't know, the way the characters think, it's like very much like of the era, which sounds weird, but I don't know. I'm eating dinner right now and I heated myself up some dino chicken nuggets. And usually, almost always, I make them in like pretty big bulk, if that makes any sense. Like I'll make like a big bowl or two and then share it with my roommates and my boyfriend, or just with my roommates or just with my boyfriend, just like, I don't know, because it's like a great community night to eat dino chicken nuggets with everybody. But I microwaved them today and they don't look so good. They look kind of wet. They look really wet, but you know what, that's okay. I only had like 5 left, which is why I wanted to microwave them. But, you know, and I ate my chicken nuggets with ranch. Delicious. Anyway, so back to Carmilla. I don't want to say its writing feels antiquated, but it's just like, I'm starting to get up to the climax where it's like, essentially what happens, and I can't remember if I've described this. This girl kind of appears out of the blue. Her carriage, like, falls apart in front of these people's mansion or house or something, and then mom tells the dad, oh my gosh, can you watch over my daughter for 3 months and then I'll come back and pick her up. So she's in like daycare for like a summer or something, and this family's looking over her, and the main character is this girl. She and Carmilla kind of click because they have had little dreams about each other before, so it's like, I've seen you but like in a dream. This is like deja vu. And so the two of them get along really, really well. Not necessarily because of that, but you know, because if you see someone in a dream exactly copy paste what you expect, you're like, no way, that's crazy, like I've seen you before. I've actually never had that happen to me, so I wouldn't know. But essentially, like, Carmilla, oh, what was this girl? I think her name was like Laura? I could be wrong. But essentially this girl and Carmilla get along really well. But there's like really weird instances where like Carmilla gets like really funky and she like kind of acts weird. Like there's this, for example, there's this, what's it called? Oh, there's all of these like people start dying and everybody's like, oh, what happened? There's this disease that's going around, everybody's dying, like gotta watch out. And like Carmilla has these little fits or whatever. It's like weird and it's like it makes the main character like uncomfortable, but it's like she's too attracted to her because, in case you didn't know, I think I already said this, it's like a lesbian love story. I don't know, but she's kind of infatuated with, I don't know, Carmilla. Is that the right? What was I even talking about? Oh, so Carmilla, there's this funeral that passes through. Take a look at my dino chicken nugget. There's this funeral that passes through, and they're playing music, and Camilla's like, ugh, literally, it sounds like screeching violins. I really hate it. Like, I literally cannot. They're so annoying. Like, nails on chalkboard. Like, she just complains. And, like, the maker just like, what are you talking about, girl? Like, it's literally not that bad. Like, it's so lovely. Like, think about the funeral, the dad, all these people that, mourning that she died. Like, at least she has this beautiful music to go. And Camilla's like, that's weird. Like, I would literally hate that. Why is, like, death have to make everybody die in the moment or something like that? Something along those lines. Anyway, this needs more ranch. So yeah, that's what's going on. We're getting near the climax. Carmilla just kind of disappears from her room after the main character has like a really bad dream and like a huge fit. She's like, oh my gosh, I had a dream. Carmilla, she was being murdered, blood all over the front of her. Like, we need to make sure she's okay. Knock on the door. They can't open it because Carmilla always locks her door before she goes to sleep. And so it's like they think that she's missing. Somebody kidnapped her. They're really scared. What are we gonna tell the mother when she comes to pick Carmilla up? Big thing. She goes up to check and Carmilla's in the room. And she was like, girl, you were missing like not even that long ago. And she was like, oh, my bad, I was here the whole time. And the dad's like, must have been the sleepwalking. So it's like, I'm interested to like see where it goes, but I'm definitely gonna have to watch like a summary to make sure understanding of what's going on in Carmilla. I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, we'll just have to see if my understanding is complete or if it's like here and there, if that makes any sense, because it's like a classic, kind of giving the same vibes as like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where I had to read it like 2 or 3 times before I like finally really understood what was going on. So we'll have to see. Either way, really interesting, especially after having read Dracula a couple times and like watching Nosferatu, which is scary, the new one. You know what I mean. But yeah, hopefully I'll be done with it soon. Hello, I'm literally back and I'm at home, as you can tell. Like, suitcases right there, chairs in a different place, ambiance is different. I did want to say that I finished Carmilla a couple days ago, so it's been a while. I've let it stew. I don't really want to give Carmilla a rating. I might have on Goodreads, but I feel like deep down inside, it's one of those things that I don't really want to give a rating for, mostly because it's like I guess like a classic. I don't feel like rating classics all the time, and I enjoyed Carmilla. I thought it was good. I don't know. I don't really feel like I want to give it a rating. Not that I think it doesn't deserve it. I just don't really feel like rating it, which is, I don't know. Sometimes I get that feeling for certain books where it's just like, well, it is what it is. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't specifically give it like a quantitative rating. So I can't remember if I've described what it's about, but it's about like, it's a sapphic vampire love story essentially, where Carmilla is like a code name for Marcella or something like that. It's like an acronym, like Harry Potter, Tom Riddle, Voldemort type thing, but in vampire version, and her name is Carmilla. But it's not Carmilla because it's actually a different name. And so it essentially follows how this main character named Laura, I can't even remember, Lara, she's really lonely. She just wants a friend, and then Carmilla comes along and she's like, oh my goodness, swept away from your beauty, but also like grotesque. Like, she's kind of like infatuated by her, by Carmilla's beauty, but at the same time she's like, something doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel I don't know, like, something is kind of wrong, but she could never tell what it was until she found out. And even after Carmilla was found and killed, she missed her, which is fine. I get it. Like, if your best friend turned out to be somebody that was like, I don't know, like using you for her evil purposes, and then they kill her for it, I guess I would be pretty bummed out too, you know. She lost her company. Honestly, I feel like it was a really interesting, kind of different read. I don't really know if I prefer Bram Stoker's Dracula because I don't know. I don't know if I've already said this either. I don't even remember what I've said. But Carmilla precedes Dracula. So Dracula takes a lot of inspiration from Carmilla, and it's kind of like almost copy paste. I think it's like 25 or 20 years later, Bram Stoker wrote Dracula. And it has like a lot of like the same like sapphic undertones and of like the sexual promiscuity of like the three, I forgot what their names are, but the three chicas that are like all over the place, and then they like kind of get all up in this one guy's business, and he's like, wait, I think I have a fiance, but I can't remember. I thought it was really interesting. Another video made that connection. I watched a bunch of like Carmilla videos, so it was really interesting to just kind of like see how much Bram Stoker took from Carmilla, because holy cow, it was a lot of it. But granted, like, you do, once you get like one vampire story, you kind of pull them all out like that. That's besides the point. You know, I think I'm gonna end the video here. I don't really want to keep reading another Kobo Plus book. I did want to point out though, I know this is like at the end of the video, but I did want to point out that I talked about it with my dad. A lot of Kobo Plus books might not be offered in English, but they will be offered in Spanish or Portuguese, which is really interesting. But if that's of interest to you and you can read in different languages, I totally recommend Kobo Plus. I do think that they're like variety of books, I'm still like having trouble with it. Like I did say in my previous video, when I was in Spain, like I really enjoyed that one sci-fi book that I read, even if it was kind of like cheesy, and I was like, this is really like alien type of movie, but like they did have like a fun ending. I feel like for this selection that I've chosen these past 3 weeks, I really liked Carmilla, but it was a classic, so like it's good to have classics in the Kobo Plus selection. Glad it was in English. And what was the other thing I was gonna say? The guests was just like not really, I don't want to say it was it wasn't my cup of tea, but it was like I enjoyed it while I read it, but like now that I'm finished with it, I would like say it's like 2.5 or 3 stars. Like it wasn't, it's just not like, it was just kind of like whatever, especially that ending was just kind of like, I don't know, like I feel like it could have added up to something bigger, and then it just like kind of fell off a little. So the guest wasn't my favorite, but I really did like Carmilla. So you win some, you lose some. Honestly, it's like whatever. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my spring break. I hope you have a good rest of your day or your night or your morning or whatever. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.